It was a sunny Saturday morning. The sky was bright blue, and the birds were singing happy songs in the cherry tree outside the window. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Leo was a 6-year-old boy with curly brown hair and big, curious eyes. But today, he wasn't just a boy. He was the world's most famous, most observant, and cleverest detective, Detective Leo. Leo took his detective hat, which was actually his dad's old flat cap, out of his toy chest, and grabbed his most important tool. His magnifying glass. When he looked through this glass, everything looked enormous. An ant turned into a giant monster, and a speck of dust looked like a huge rock. Leo held the magnifying glass to his eye and stepped out of his room. He walked down the hallway with quiet steps, tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. His target, the kitchen. Because wonderful smells were drifting from there. When he entered the kitchen, he saw Grandma Rose. Grandma Rose had the softest cheeks in the world and the loveliest flowery aprons. But right now, Grandma Rose looked a bit sad. She was walking round and round the kitchen table, putting her hands in and out of her pockets. "Oh, my lovely flower! Oh, my sweet sugar! But how am I going to read the recipe?" she mumbled to herself. Detective Leo immediately stepped in. He cleared his throat. Ahem, ahem. "Is there a problem, Grandma Rose?" "Detective Leo is at your service." Grandma Rose smiled when she saw her grandson. "Oh, Leo. You arrived just in time. We are facing a huge mystery. I was going to make my favorite cookie recipe, but the writing in the cookbook looks as small as ants. Because I've lost my glasses." Leo frowned. Detectives always frown when they are thinking. "Don't worry, Grandma. No glasses can hide from Detective Leo. I accept this case." Leo decided to examine the crime scene first, the kitchen. He pulled a small notebook and pencil from his pocket. "Tell me everything, Grandma. When was the last time you saw them?" Grandma Rose thought. She tapped her chin with her finger. They were right on the end of my nose when I was drinking my morning tea. Then I looked at the newspaper. Then I gave Barnaby the cat his breakfast. I don't remember after that." "Right," said Leo. "The operation begins." Code name, Operation Red Glasses. Leo examined the kitchen table first. He looked at everything with his magnifying glass. Salt cellar. No. Pepper pot. No. Napkin holder. No. Something red was shining behind the napkin holder. Leo said excitedly, "Aha! A clue." He reached out, but it wasn't the glasses. It was just a red button. Said Leo. "False alarm." "Maybe they are in the living room," said Leo. "Follow me, Grandma." They went into the living room. It was bright with morning sunlight. In the corner, the lazy house cat, Barnaby, was sleeping on his favorite yellow armchair. Purr. Purr. Leo approached Barnaby quietly. He inspected the cat with his magnifying glass. Maybe Barnaby had borrowed the glasses. Maybe he was reading the newspaper. Of course, cats can't read, but a detective must consider every possibility. Leo said, "Excuse me, Mr. Barnaby. I need to ask you some questions. Have you seen a pair of red glasses?" Barnaby opened one eye, looked at Leo, let out a long meow, and rolled over to go back to sleep. "The suspect isn't talking," said Leo, drawing something in his notebook. Then he decided to check under the sofa cushions. He lifted the cushions one by one. Poof! Poof! Under the cushions, he found one old penny. The knitting needle Grandma Rose lost last week. A piece of a dry cracker. But the glasses, they weren't there. Grandma Rose sighed. "I don't think we can make the cookies, Leo. Without my glasses, I might mix the flour with salt instead of sugar. Would you like to eat salty cookies?" Leo's eyes went wide. "Salty cookies? Yuck. No, Grandma. We don't give up. A detective never gives up." Leo stopped and did his detective thinking walk. He paced back and forth across the room. Tap, tap, tap. Then he stopped. He pointed his finger in the air. "Grandma, did you go into the garden after you fed Barnaby?" Grandma Rose clapped her hands. "Oh, yes. I went to check the letterbox. And I watered my roses." "That's it," shouted Leo. "The glasses might be hiding in the garden." They went out into the garden together. The air smelled of fresh flowers. Bees were flying from flower to flower, buzz, buzz. Leo crawled on the grass. He scanned the lawn with his magnifying glass. First, they checked near the letterbox. Only bills were inside. No glasses. Then they looked under the big oak tree. There was a pine cone, but no glasses. It was time for the roses. Grandma Rose had wonderful red roses. Leo crouched under the rose bush. Careful of the thorns, he parted the leaves. Rustle, rustle. "I see something," said Leo. Grandma Rose asked excitedly, "Is it my glasses?" Leo reached in and pulled the object out. "No," said Leo. "It's your gardening glove that you lost last month." Grandma Rose laughed. "Detective Leo, you have found all the lost things in the house while looking for my glasses. You are amazing. But I think the glasses are really gone." Leo and Grandma Rose walked back to the kitchen, feeling tired. Leo adjusted his hat. He was very thirsty. Being a detective was hard work. "Grandma, can I have a glass of cold water?" asked Leo. "Of course, darling," said Grandma Rose. "Wait, I'll give you some fresh orange juice. It's in the fridge." Leo sat on the chair. He thought about all the clues again. Living room, clear. Garden, clear. Cat, innocent. So, where could these glasses have gone? They couldn't have grown wings and flown away, could they? Grandma Rose walked to the fridge. She opened the fridge door. Creak. Cool air and a soft light spilled out from inside. As Grandma Rose reached for the bottle of orange juice, Leo noticed something. On the top shelf of the fridge, right next to the box of cheddar cheese, slightly foggy from the cold, something red was sitting there. Leo jumped up. Stop, Grandma. Don't move. Grandma Rose froze in surprise. What is it, Leo? Is there a spider? Leo ran to the fridge. He looked at the shelf with his magnifying glass. The culprit has been caught, Leo said triumphantly. Grandma Rosie's red-rimmed glasses were sitting right there, between the block of cheese and the jar of olives. Grandma Rose started to laugh. She laughed so much her cheeks wobbled. Oh, I can't believe it, she said. I must have left them there this morning when I was putting the milk away. My glasses must be freezing. Leo reached up, took the cold glasses, and gave them to Grandma Rose. Here you go, Grandma. Case closed. Grandma Rose put on her glasses. Oh, the world is clear again. Thank you, Detective Leo. If it wasn't for you, I might have had to eat cheesy glasses. Leo smiled proudly. You're welcome, Grandma. It's my job. Now, said Grandma Rose, picking up her recipe book. We must celebrate this great success. Do you know what detectives love the most? Leo thought. Magnifying glasses. No, said Grandma Rose with a wink. Warm, chocolate chip cookies. They set to work together. Flour puffed into the air, poof, poof. Eggs were cracked, crack, crack. The mixer spun, whiz, whiz. Half an hour later, the whole house smelled of delicious cookies. Leo and Grandma Rose sat at the table. They had their milk and steaming hot cookies in front of them. Leo took a giant bite of his cookie. Crunch. He said. Victory tastes delicious. Grandma Rose patted Leo's head. You are the world's best detective, Leo. But most importantly, you are the world's most helpful grandson. Barnaby the cat came into the kitchen and rubbed against their legs. I think he was happy the case was solved too, or maybe he just smelled the cookies. And so, the mystery of the glasses in the fridge was successfully solved. Detective Leo took off his detective hat until the next mystery appeared, and went back to being just Leo, enjoying his grandma's tasty cookies. The end.